It is often said that children are the brightest part of our lives. And for me, that has always been true. My daughter, Roxy, is 8 years old. From the moment she came into this world, she was like a light I didn't know I needed. She has been my pride, my joy, and my purpose. We've built little traditions together, the kind that become anchors in memory. Our favorite is the bedtime story. Each evening, no matter how busy the day has been, we curl up in her room and I read aloud from one of her books. Watching her little face soften, her eyes widen in wonder, her breath still as the story unfolds, it has always filled me with warmth. On one particular night, we were working our way through Charlotte's Web. We had reached chapter 12, where Charlotte begins to spin her clever words into her web. Some pig, terrific, radiant, all meant to save Wilbur from a terrible fate. As I read, Roxy's brow furrowed, her lips turning into a pout. She worried over poor Wilbur, convinced he would be taken away, sold, and butchered. "Come on, Pumpkin," I whispered, brushing her hair back. "Do you really think Charlotte would let that happen? Look, she's leaving notes to make sure the farmer knows Wilbur is special." And then, so casually, she said something that gave me pause. "Leaving notes like the man in your closet?" I chuckled, nervously, unsure how to respond. "Haha, yeah, silly. Just like the man in my closet." I brushed it off, though the words echoed in the back of my mind. I finished the chapter, kissed her forehead, and tucked her into bed. "All right, sweetie, sweet dreams." "You too, Daddy," she murmured, drifting off into sleep. That night, when I lay down, I couldn't shake what she had said. The man in my closet. Children imagine monsters under the bed, shadows in corners, creatures hiding where none exist. That's all this was, I told myself. Still, embarrassment aside, I checked. I rose quietly, crossing the hall to my room. The closet door slid open with a faint scrape. Darkness met me, still and deep. Tugging the little pull string, I filled the closet with pale yellow light. Everything looked normal. Shoes in a neat row, shirts on hangers, jackets tucked away. But then I noticed something. Small, out of place. A crumpled sticky note pressed into the corner, as though someone had slid it under the drywall. I picked it up. Written in red ink were the words, "Some pig." My stomach dropped. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe Roxy had written it. Maybe she had copied it from the book. But the timing was too perfect, too uncanny. Grabbing a bat, I searched the house. Each room, each corner, each door. My voice rang out nervously. "Hello? If someone's here, you'd better come out now. I'll call the cops." Of course, I found nothing. But all the noise had woken Roxy. She patted over, rubbing her sleepy eyes. "What happened, Daddy?" "Nothing, honey. Let's go back to bed." "Did you find the man?" I froze. "What man, Roxy?" I asked gently, trying to sound calm. "The man from your closet, I told you. Don't you remember?" "There's no man, sweetheart. I heard something in the garage." "So you didn't find the note?" My blood went cold. "How do you know about the note?" I asked carefully. "He told me he left you one," she said with a small laugh, "just like in the story." The next morning, after I'd sent Roxy to school, I searched the house again. I checked the attic, the basement, even under the sinks. Nothing. But then, while glancing around Roxy's room, I noticed a worn notebook on her shelf. Opening it, I found page after page covered in sticky notes. Dozens, maybe hundreds of them, pressed inside like a scrapbook. Single words written in clumsy red ink. Hello, Roxy, waiting, window, Daddy. The handwriting was uneven, almost childlike. None of it made sense. That evening, I asked Roxy about it. She was tired from school and impatient with my questions. "Those are the notes, Dad. I told you so many times." "Where did they come from? How did you get them?" She looked at me as if the answer were obvious. "From the man. He always leaves them after story time. He lives in your closet." I scolded her then, more sharply than I meant to. She went to her room upset, and I sat in the living room trying to calm myself. An hour later, I heard her giggling. I peeked in, only to find her eyes fixed not on her book, but on the floor by the bed. She smiled at me when I entered, hiding it quickly. That night, I went to bed uneasy. I had just begun to drift when I heard it. The faint, deliberate scratch of pen against paper. My eyes flew open. I hurried to the closet and yanked the string. There on the floor were 3 fresh notes, each torn, jagged, the words scrawled with such force they nearly cut through the paper. "Do not yell." My heart thundered. I grabbed my keys and ran to Roxy's room. Empty, the window wide open. Days turned into weeks, and there was no trace of her. The police, the neighbors, no one could explain it. I am hollow now, broken. My little girl, my pride, my joy, gone. And yet, sometimes in the stillness of night, I hear the faint scratch again from my closet. One night, unable to resist, I opened the door. Lying on the floor was a single note written in handwriting I recognized immediately. My daughter's. It read simply, "I miss you, Daddy."